Hello and welcome. In this video I will be walking you through my game in C++ Warehouse Jump. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to quickly walk you through my game. I'm just going to start it, which loads up a loading screen. So first you start off at the bottom. You have drone enemies above you. Each one has a health beside them, and when you shoot them, the health goes down. The player also has health, and you can see that in the bottom left. To play, you just have to hold space. The longer you hold space, the higher you jump. Then to demonstrate level 2. Level 2 has spiders in it, as you can see. And if you shoot the spiders, they lose health and eventually die. If you hit off a spider, they will lower your health. Spiders are also able to move around objects, like so. So if I am up here, they will go left or right and then come around the object and start attacking me. So let's get rid of the spiders first. Then moving on to level 3, you are back with the flying drones, but the objects you're walking on are small and hard to jump on. Then once level 3 is over, you are sent back to the main menu. So then for components, I have a few reused components from the drop pod game, like shooting and using text. I also have added some new ones, so like collision. I have a collision component which, if put on a player or enemy, it will send the group name and masks like default does. So the group would be the object name currently, and masks would be what that object wants to collide with, essentially. So that's how the collision works. It gets all the entities and then gets their positions and checks if they're hitting off each other. And then what it does is it will send to my other new component, the health component for each entity, like player health or enemy health. It will say collision, what group, and what masks. Then if we go to the player health, we just have a simple detection system where if it's the enemy attacking the player, then move 1 health from the player, or if it's the spider attacking the player, remove 1 health from the player. Same with the bullets, so different bullets and different groups for who the bullet is hitting. And then once the player's health gets below 0, it then deletes the player. So I also have some very basic AI for the drones. The drones essentially move back and forth, left and right, in the one Y position and height. And basically I added a shooting component to each of the drones, and I'm able to shoot at the player's position every few seconds. Moving on to spiders. So the spiders will always stay moving towards the player, and if there's a wall in the way, then the direction will change either left or right randomly, and until they're not against the wall anymore, and then will continue following the player. So then in shooting, I have my very basic object pool for bullets, and I've also repurposed some of the code so that it hits off of walls and hits off of enemy players with the collision, and it removes the health off of whatever it hits, whether it be a player or if it hits a enemy. So for additional libraries then, I have also added a audio manager. So Play Music basically essentially loads in the background music using the file name and uses the resource manager then to load in the music file name. Then I also can load in sounds like jumping, landing, shooting, and I also use the resource manager for those two. So I had to change the resource manager then also to accommodate for sound buffers and the music, which is here. So I can show you that. If we go in here, you can see I added the sound buffer and music, and then it's the resources CPP. I also have them here loading in the sound and music using make sure pointers. Then for some of the data-driven functionality, I've added a player.csv file, and I load that in the player physics here. So as you can see, I'm loading in the file, and then I'm getting the player speed and jump height for each of the players. You can see that here. So the player speed and the jump height. I'm also loading in the levels, so level 1, 2, and 3 text files using the level system here. I also used a flight wave pattern for loading in the crate textures and also the background tiles. So when they're loaded in, then it sets it to crate texture loaded true, and then it won't keep loading it in continuously over and over and over. As you can see in the player physics, I'm using some advanced C++ like unordered maps, which are unlike maps because maps store elements in a sorted order, whereas an unordered map does not do this, which is perfect for loading in CSV files with random like jump height or player speed, stuff like that. So then just to walk you through, let's say level 1, you can see I'm using the component system design pattern where we add basically components to the player, like player physics, the shooting, the health component and collision component I was talking about earlier. I also created an animation component as well, which basically just runs through the sprites in an image. So the different sprites. So for example, I'll show you jump. No, spider. So it'll just, you just set the size of the spider, and it will go, and how many times, and it will go through it. It'll animate through the spider. Okay, so thanks for watching. That's the end of this video. I tried to make it as short as possible, so there wasn't too much. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.